bombshell AI chatbot called ChatGPT was released recently, and it is taking the internet by storm. It is a hot new sensation in the tech world, and to understand more about it and the different use cases and the limitations, I spoke to Denis Toporov, a good friend of mine and a colleague. Denis is extremely knowledgeable in the AI space, and he shared some interesting insights about ChatGPT. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hey Denis, welcome to my show. Thanks for taking time, first of all.
Thanks, Raj.
Let's start with a little bit of an introduction. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm product manager at Informatica, focusing on MDM.
Okay, so this whole ChatGPT is in hype right now. It's a big sensation. I'm reading a lot. I know you're doing a lot of reading too. So tell me a little bit about ChatGPT. What's going on here?
Yeah, there is a lot of hype obviously there, and there's everybody talking about it. The most important thing, if you look at the essential simplified architecture of it, it's nothing better than autocomplete, really sophisticated version of autocomplete with a lot of the parameters, which the more parameters you add, the more complex patterns you can detect on the data, and the more stuff you can generate which looks like a reasoning, which is actually not reasoning. It's just prediction of the next word in the sequence of the next word, next word, and next word.
So one way to simplify it, I think we talked about this, is predicting the next word which comes out of it, just like how we do it in text message, right? So is that a fair thing to say?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, that makes it a lot more easier for me. Someone like me with a less brain cells in him. So next, let's talk about use cases. So what are some of the use cases that you see?
Yeah, let's talk about use cases. So essentially it can provide a lot of power tools to help to automate a lot of small things in a lot of vertical use cases. So if we look at productivity improvements or the workflow of many tasks, we got a lot of advancements in image processing, generation of images, text generation, classification, finding similarities, translation. But when we specifically focus on MDM, you can learn from the human interaction and optimize many tasks like, hey, this task are following the same pattern. Do you want to complete them because you just completed similar tasks? Or you can organize data by the new patterns, use it to generate descriptions based on the attributes, label data, sort of like, there are a lot of opportunities there.
Yeah, that's amazing. So because I write a lot of content, right? Someone like me, if I can get a draft content from ChatGPT, which obviously I need to optimize further. Let's talk a little bit about limitations then. So what are some of the limitations of it today as we stand? Where are we going from there?
Yeah, so one main thing when you think about the limitations, you have to remember the fundamentals. So as I was saying in the beginning, this is autocomplete, but much more sophisticated version of autocomplete. So it cannot reason. It can only synthesize based on the data or patterns it's observed in before. The other thing is it's not cheap to run. You got to train it, you got to fine-tune the model for your specific use case. That means not just compute, it's engineering resources, data curation, validation. So it's not 100% ready for production use in a lot of the use cases. You have to figure out, you have to fine tune, you have to validate, and this is not cheap.
Absolutely. The part especially where it's not going to take my job away right away is actually assuring. So thanks for that. So let's talk a little bit about the future of where we're going from here, because we suddenly saw this explosion of innovation in AI, right? We both were trying this Lensa AI too, which literally took 20 of our pictures and transformed us into some cool characters from sci-fi movies. So we're entering this new world. So what's the future of this with ChatGPT, Lensa AI, and all these innovations that are happening in the AI world? What do you see there?
This optimistic and pessimistic point of view. Optimists are saying like, oh, we are like 1 year away from exponential growth and getting to advanced versions of the AI. And pessimists are saying like, look at the self-driving car. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, like where they now, just one company released in production. So we don't know, but it's definitely going to take a lot of the routine tasks and help us in the short term. In the next couple of years, we'll be changing the playground for businesses. For individuals, there will be much more startups who will be investing into like niche verticals solving specific use case. But again, we got to be really careful expecting this thing to be production quality. It's experimental still. So we have to learn a lot and invest a lot of time.
Absolutely. I mean, I think this is very interesting space for me. and so does for you. I'm looking forward to having a lot more conversations around this, right? I think this is a really good intro into ChatGPT and kind of the possibilities there. I want to come back to you later and we do another version of this, okay?
Sure.
So, but for now, this is great insight. Thanks so much for your time, Dennis.
Yeah, thanks, Prash. Happy to be here. Happy to share more in the future.